Hello and welcome. You may not know that Dell has a BPO arm or business process outsourcing arm. It's pretty large actually, has almost 5,000 people in India, 9,000 world over, and is doing some interesting work. Joining me now to discuss that is the head of Dell's global BPO operations, Tanvir Khan. Tanvir, thank you very much for speaking with us. So Tanvir, just before I come to more specific questions, what's the environment, general environment been like? What are the kind of new things that you've been doing in the last year or so?
So, when we looked at getting into the BPO space, we had the option of providing horizontal services, finance and accounting, procurement, customer service, or providing vertical services. And we decided that we are going to double down the areas of core competence and be a niche player with vertical solutions. So what we have been doing is working in a few very niche platform BPO solutions. So we work in the healthcare payer space, we work in the healthcare provider space, we work in life insurance, and we do some work in retail and hospitality. But we work in very, very specific niche solutions and are staying away from commodity horizontal solutions.
Right. So can you give me an example of one of these niche solutions that has come into your fold in the last year or so?
So, all of this has been in our fold for a long time. The difference in last year is that last year we've doubled down our investments and we've decided to focus on these. But let me give you an example. So we've got a life insurance business, and the life insurance business is really organized as TPA. So we are a life insurance third-party administrator. So we work with a life insurance company, and we do everything from policy issuance to policy surrender and everything in between. So the life insurance company really creates a product, sells it through a series of distributors, but beyond that, everything is done by us as a TPA on our platform, using our call centers, using our mail rooms. So we own the end-to-end process, and that's an example of a vertical solution that we provide.
And that sounds interesting. So it means that if as a consumer I call you or I call the insurance company, I may never actually talk to them, I'm only talking to you.
Most of these life insurance companies are virtual companies. So when you pick up the phone and I say, good morning, ABC Life Insurance, so I'm actually representing them. But yes, the call will go into our call centers.
And you would issue the policies as well?
So the way it would really work is you are the product manager of a life insurance company. You've come up with this new product, which is say a group policy with a 30-year term. And that is sold through either employers or through a set of agents. And if an agent sits down with you, gets 20 pages signed with you, he ships it to our mail room. From there on, everything pertaining to that policy is done by us. So we will scan it, digitize it, we will take care of the policy issuance, we will send the policy documents to you. If you've got any changes, you want to change beneficiary, you want to increase, decrease limits, you've got change of address, account maintenance, you pick up the phone and call. We pick up the phone and take care of that transaction. If unfortunately something happens to you and a claim is filed, we take care of the claim, we process the claim, and we write the check to your beneficiaries. Or if you're fortunate enough, the policy has matured, which will not happen to a term policy, but if a policy is a different type which matures, we'll take care of the surrender of the policy and the actual check that's been sent to you. So that entire process is referred to as third-party administration, and we are one of the largest TPAs in the life insurance space.
And there's a lot of technology going in as well, right? I mean, I keep hearing, I'm hearing this time around that a lot of BPM companies are actually trying to embed more technology into the process themselves, and I'm sure you're doing it too.
So this, the process I just described is a purely technology-driven process, because when I say policy issuance, somebody has to input data into a system. There's a system that has to do underwriting, has to do all the calculations, has to actually issue the policy. That policy issue system is LifeSys, which is a system that we own. When you have to handle claims, when you have to do account maintenance, so the end-to-end processing of life insurance is done on a mainframe system that we own called LifeSys. So the solutions that we're taking to market all have an underlying platform. They've got a workflow engine, and they've got the Dell factory model. But in each case, we give a platform-based BPO solution with end-to-end ownership of the process on outcome-based pricing.
Right. So, and owning this technology makes a difference in, in as much as the company would work, or an insurance company would like to work with someone who owns the technology in addition to the process.
So whether it's an insurance company, whether it's a health plan, whether it's a provider, what they are interested in is the outcome. And having technology is a necessary evil. So if they can have a vendor that provides that outcome without them having to deal with maintaining a system, hosting a system, having an IT team, having a testing team, having a processing team, they'd much rather outsource it to us. So if you take the healthcare payer space, what we take on is policy administration for a health claim player. So what does that mean? So if you sign up for health insurance, there's a process of signing up, which is enrollment. After that, you go and see a doctor. The doctor files a claim. So claims have to be processed. Somebody processes the claim, which is something that we do. We approve or reject a claim. If we reject your claim, you pick up the phone and call. We pick up the phone and take care of customer service. So enrollment, claims, customer service are all part of services that a life insurance company provides. When I go to a life insurance company, I take on the entire role of policy administration. I bring in my own platform, I bring my workflow, I bring my people, and take on that entire policy administration piece. And we work on something called per member per month, which is a flat fee. They pay us per member per month. And in that, we'll take care of everything. Somebody calls once, somebody calls 100 times, somebody has 2 claims, 200 claims. The health plan will pay us one flat fee. And we've really converted their cost into a fixed cost. And we take care of all the variations, technology, hosting, infrastructure, servicing, processing. So it becomes a one-stop shop responsible for the outcome.
Right. So you talked about people, and that's always a critical component in this kind of a business. So where are you finding the people to do tasks which are almost replicating the core business of a insurance or a health company?
So, the market we play in is a global market. So if you look at people, we need people at two levels. One is you need people with deep domain competence, and these are people who've actually worked in the industry for 10, 20 years, people who worked in a life insurance company, people who have worked in a health plan, and these are typically found in the geographies where these companies operate, predominantly in the US. On the other hand, you need a very large number of process people who have expertise in executing a process that is run efficiently, and that we find a very large part in India. So any process that we own, we'll actually end up creating a virtual team with a few dozen people in the US and a few hundred people in India, tie them together to bring the deep domain competence, the deep process competence, and put them together on a platform to create a
It also sounds quite nightmarish.
We've been doing it for so many years that it's sort of honed down to a well-oiled machine now.
Right. So how's the pipeline looking on the talent side, particularly if you're looking to add more skilled people in a country like India, handling your back end?
So, I'm pretty bullish on the long-term talent pipeline in India. Right now, we are looking at a little gap between skill availability and the skills required. And that is not because the talent has suddenly run short. It is because the demand has moved faster than the talent availability. But I've got confidence in the ecosystem. There are training institutes, there are colleges that are stepping up to the change. Companies are adapting their training programs, etc. So I'm sure we'll be able to bridge that gap. But the depth of the talent pool in India is still strong. So I expect India to be a major provider of transaction processing services for several years to come.
Right. Last question. How's the year ahead looking for you?
Well, the year actually is looking pretty good because, like I said, one of the areas we are very strong in is healthcare.
You have Obama healthcare.
Yeah, so Obamacare is making major changes. States are setting up their exchanges. That opens up huge opportunities for us. So if anything that happens to our growth, it will only be acceleration.
Right, Tanvir. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you. My pleasure.